Hello YouTube, welcome back to the Basement Card Collector. In today's video we are going to show our latest pickups from our favorite local card shop, Randy and his wife Barb. I love going in there, love digging through the boxes. He has done a recent upgrade and kind of overhaul of what the shop looks like with new shelving, new pricing, and just new boxes and kind of new sorting and arranging. And it's just really good for me. It's just really good for me. I love stopping in there, and I just wanted to show you what we picked up. Showing off the cards on the stage, there's our Andre Dawson 1989 Topps through the mail autograph. It's my favorite player on my favorite year. A recent find at the card shop from the last trip I took, a Bo Jackson, and if you notice those corners are rounded, the kind of card, it's called an Indiana Blue Sox. I believe it's from 1987. I recently ran across a small stack of cards from that set, and I picked up the Bo Jackson somewhere there last time, I think. A Mike Piazza minor league card. I really dig guys and their minor league uniforms. I know they're not worth what what I feel they should be worth, and that's not important, but I do love finding players in their minor league cards and uniforms. And to the far side of our stage is an Ernie Banks 1957 Topps. Probably will go down as one of the coolest gifts ever given to me in my entire life. I got that for Christmas, and so I just wanted to show that off. It is a 5, and that's kind of led me down another project. That would be my 347th side project, but that's another video. Let's show you what we found at our recent stop into my favorite card shop. Well, as you know, I'm an Andre Dawson fan, and I don't find them often, but check this guy out. Topps Archive 2002 on the 87 Topps, but baby, look at that shine. And I love Archives for many reasons, but this, a shiny 1987 Topps. If you could go back to 1987 Topps and look at the shine on this card, it would like blow your mind. That's like Marty McFly talk. Could you imagine this card in 1987 with that kind of shine? So very cool. My favorite fella, Andre Dawson. Well, I'm gonna slide him back there because, sticking in the shiny category, I don't buy many current players, but I kind of have been picking up about 3 or 4 players. Juan Soto is one. Bobby Witt Jr. I do like some Acuna, but I thought, I think this was in the quarter box. I thought for sure we can pick up that for a quarter. I have been also working on, like I said, 347 side projects. Here's one. I like to pick up rookie cards if I can. Rookie cards or young versions of the players that we love. So let's check out what we got. We got a Bo Bichette rookie on the Bowman. I think these were 50 cents. I could be wrong, or perhaps $1. A rookie Bowman card, same, but Mr. Corey Seager. I think he's a Hall of Famer in the working. Corey Seager rookie card. I don't know if this goes down as a rookie card, but Miggy Cabrera. It's a Bowman Heritage. I think it's either a first-year card. I don't know what that's called. I know it's an early card that I did not have of the for sure future Hall of Famer. Speaking of weird random rookie cards, Edgar Martinez on the rookies, but that is clearly not Edgar Martinez. That kind of bugs me. They did not fix that error, but what do you do? I didn't have it, and Edgar Martinez is a Hall of Famer. Anytime I see the Greg Maddux rookie cards for $1, I am all in. I have several copies of this. This is the Fleer update, but for $1, I'm going to buy them every single time. The rated rookie, the traded, the update, any type of Greg Maddux, I'm all in. Here's a really cool Chris Bryant. This is actually like 2014, so I guess this would be like a pre-rookie. I just still love Chris Bryant, and I'm kind of bummed that he's gone still, but Thank you, Chris Bryant. 2 cards of the same player recently soon to be enshrined, Ichiro. And again, for $1, I'm trying to run through his Topps cards in a weird side project number 346. And I just thought that's a really cool card. Got some holographic kind of shine to it. Ichiro. All right, folks, and I showed you that Mike Piazza because I feel like I did pretty well with these, and check these out. Speaking of minor league cards, how about a 1986 All-Star card, Mark McGwire on the Huntsville All-Star squad? I mean, come on, how cool is that? Mark McGwire minor league card, I like it. Hall of Famer Chipper Jones. Now we got a little bit of gold foil. This is when we're getting to the 92, 93. But the Durham Bulls, I mean, come on. Crash Davis, hello. 2 reasons we picked this up, but check out just the young age of Alfonso Soriano, the Norwich Navigators. Talked about his Futures Game MVP, and he had a really good career. I just feel like he's kind of underrated. I think he would be a superstar. He would be a $500 million player today. He hits bombs, he strikes out a ton, here or there on defense, mostly there, but I think he would be I think he'd been well suited for today's baseball game. And I have 2 more. A 1990 Yellow Classic for Mr. Frank Thomas, Hall of Famer. Old school Chicago White Sox helmet and sweet jacket. But I like that. No major league record. How cool is that? But I think my favorite minor league card, whoa, check this out. Birmingham Barons, first base, Frank Thomas. And again, that's from 1990, like everything else. But I'd never seen that, especially in the dollar box. Yes. Yes, please. Side project number 344, my Jason Franken set. This is Jason Hart. And again, it's a minor league card. It's not really why I bought him, but I bought this for the Jason name. I am building a set, and I haven't quite even begun to put them in order. I'm still in the acquiring stage, but I'm looking for all players named Jason, any sport. And when I pick them up for 50 cents, I think, which is what this guy cost me, and it's autographed, that's pretty cool. I have another little set here going. This is a Jim Morris rookie card. And if I pause for a breath, do you remember Jim Morris? Now he hits a special PC for me because if you remember his story, it actually was turned into, I believe, a Disney movie. He was a teacher, baseball coach, and I think through a series of, coach, if we do this and we do this, will you do that? And more or less, if his team kept winning, he would go try out for like a professional tryout day, scout day, and he ended up making it to the bigs. And so I've never seen one of his actual cards. Here he is, a rookie for the Devil Rays. Thought that was kind of cool. But I am a teacher. I dig any kind of stories like that, of course. I've also been into picking up small sets. And some are something like this. The 1995 National League Championship Series Upper Deck cards. I'm not a Braves fan so much, but I do like several players, and I do love sets like that. It's sealed. It was in the dollar box. I don't even know how many cards are in there, but I thought it was a cool little set to add to my set collection. This was a no-brainer for me, but I am a Hoosier fan through and through. My family, my wife's family, they gifted me several cards and several pieces of memorabilia. There's a Bob Knight, 1992, 93, and then again in the same sets, I did look through there. Hoosier great Damon Bailey, and again for $1 a piece. I'm gonna work on seeing if I can get some of those autographed, but I thought that was a really cool find. And one more little set, $1. The Rookie Sensation set, 1991 Fleer. And again, there are very few big names in there, but the biggest name is there right on top. Gary Payton. It's a Gary Payton rookie card. And the set is in there. I did flip through there, but for $1, I love stuff like that. Here we get down to the nitty gritty. I've also been working on building my vintage collection, and I've been picking up as much as I can. I try to get at least one every time I go, along with these other things you see, some minor leaguers, some recent players, some Hall of Famers, some Cubbies, some rookies, some sets, all of those things. Love minor league cards as well. I'm also trying to pick up some vintage cards, and so what I found here was an Al Kaline 72 Topps. Actually going to be sending that out to a buddy as well. I found my favorite Johnny Bench card minus the Gold Cup, the classic 1976 Topps. The smoke, the glove, the mask, the look, the stare, the All-Star logo. It's like, what? For $1? It was a no-brainer. And I haven't decided if this goes to the set or to the Johnny Bench collection. I haven't quite figured that out yet. But Johnny Bench for $1 on that card, oh yes. And one more in the dollar box, a 1979 Topps Mike Schmidt. And again, that that case is as yellow as you can come, but I believe that will be heading towards the set because it's in pretty good shape. So I will just kind of trade that out. If this copy is better, then I'll put it in my Mike Schmidt binder, or it will go into the set. Either way, a very good find. Okay, and the creme de la creme of this trip to the local card shop. I can't believe it, but this would be project number 347. I think I mentioned this earlier. Check out what we bought for a very good price, and that leads me down another road of finding more cards, which is a good problem, yet it's still a problem. Check this baby out. Ernie Banks, 1962, and it's in an SGC 5. Now, before I explain my problem, do you see my dilemma? I don't usually buy graded cards. I'll be honest, holding this in this big plastic case is not what I like to do. However, the problem that you may or may not be seeing is I have most of the Ernie Banks cards now, and they are all ungraded. So I ask you folks of the YouTubes, what am I to do? I don't know what to do. So now when I'm looking online, which is another something that I don't do, and I'm looking at Ernie Banks cards, and now I'm thinking, do I have to get Ernie Banks cards in an SGC 5? I don't know what I would do if I had an SGC 4 or a PSA 1 and a Beckett 2. I don't know if I could roll like that. I can tell you I am super pumped to have a 1962 Topps Ernie Banks. Like, that is prime Ernie Banks. That's just off his MVP years. He's almost to 300 home runs. He's picked up his MVPs at like that point, but he's not a 500 home run club. I couldn't be happier. The gift from my wife, I love the 5. I love the Ernie Banks in a 5. Now, this case could be kind of cleaned. It has some kind of residue at the top, but not too concerned with that. But I just don't know what to do. I mainly have ungraded cards, and I like to touch them and dig through them and flip through them. I now have a small growing collection of graded cards, which I can't argue with, but I also know then, well, am I supposed to have cards that are graded and ungraded? Because I like to put them in a binder. Now, would I put a 1957 Topps Ernie Banks in a binder by itself? I don't know. I doubt it. Would I put this in a sleeve by itself and put it in a binder page for my 1962 Topps set? I don't know. I do know I am super happy to add these two Ernie Banks. They do look good together, though. Ooh. Now the question remains, do I start buying Ernie Banks graded cards, and do I have to keep them in a 5? I think the answer is yes. I don't know if I can do that, but I do know it's another Ernie Banks to the collection, which as a 10-year-old me in 1989, I can't believe I have several Ernie Banks cards. That just blows my mind just to say those words out loud. I have several Ernie Banks cards. I actually need fewer. How do I say that? I have more of his cards in his Topps run than I don't. And that is nuts. That's nuts. But I do love going to that card shop. I do love showing the video, showing the cards that we pick up. And again, I pick up a little bit of everything: rookie cards, minor league cards, apparently now graded cards, vintage, current, old, minor, random, oddball. I just love getting cards. I love looking through them, and I love assembling them and putting them in order and putting them in player order. And I'm working on, like I said, 348 projects, and they range from pretty inexpensive to buying graded cards now, and I dig it. I do dig it. So thank you, Randy, that card shop. I love it. I can't wait to get back. Thank you folks for watching. We'll see you next time.